Takeaways from Robert Hur's testimony on Biden's mishandling of classified documents. Former special counsel Robert Hur appeared before Congress on Tuesday to explain his investigation into President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents, which led to no charges against the president, but plenty of consternation among Democrats when Hur described Biden as a well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory in his report. While Hur came ready to defend his investigation, outlining a specific legal case, or lack thereof, the members of the House Judiciary Committee were fighting a battle over the much more subjective political consequences to Hur's report just months before the 2024 presidential election. Republicans attacked Biden as they pressed Hur on his decision not to prosecute the president, while Democrats criticized Hur for his comments about Biden's memory, while also focusing much of their attention on former President Donald Trump and the differences in the former president's classified documents case, which led to an indictment last year. Here are takeaways from Tuesday's hearing. Hur won't exonerate Biden, but won't call him senile either. Hur tried his best to stick to what was in his report, even as he was pushed to go further either to criticize Biden or to declare his innocence. Hur was clear on Tuesday that he did not want to play ball with Republicans on whether Biden is senile, given the former special counsel's decision to describe Biden as an elderly man with a poor memory in his investigative report. Webster's dictionary defines senile as exhibiting a decline of cognitive ability, such as memory, associated with old age, Republican Representative Scott Fitzgerald of Wisconsin said. Mr. Hur, based on your report, did you find that the president was senile? I did not. That conclusion does not appear in my report, Hur replied emphatically. Representative Pramila Jayapal, a Washington state Democrat, tussled with Hur over his conclusions, claiming Hur exonerated Biden. But Hur immediately took issue with the term during a tense exchange in which they both repeatedly cut each other off. This lengthy, expensive, and independent investigation resulted in a complete exoneration of President Joe Biden for every document you discussed in your report. You found insufficient evidence that the president violated any laws about possession or retention of classified materials, Jayapal said. I need to go back and make sure that I take note of a word that you used, exoneration, Hur said. That is not a word that is used in my report, and that is not a part of my task as a prosecutor. Enter your email to sign up for CNN's Meanwhile in China newsletter. Close dialogue. What's happening in China and what does it mean for the rest of the world? Sign me up. By subscribing, you agree to our privacy policy. You exonerated him, Jayapal retorted. I did not exonerate him, Hur said. That word does not appear in the report. Democrats' retorts are all about Trump. Hur played no role in the investigation into Trump's handling of classified documents, but that didn't stop Democrats from repeatedly asking Hur about the Trump classified documents indictment. Republicans, too, pointed to Trump on Tuesday to make their claim that the lack of charges against Biden shows a two-tiered system of justice. In his report, Hur noted there were several material distinctions between the Biden and Trump cases. Representative Madeleine Dean, a Pennsylvania Democrat, asked Hur to read that section of his report into the record to hit home the point. Democrats teased the differences between the two cases by asking Hur whether the charges against Trump in his classified documents case also applied in Biden's case. Did you find that President Biden directed his lawyer to lie to the FBI? Asked Representative Ted Lieu, a California Democrat. We identified no such evidence, Hur responded. Did you find that President Biden directed his personal assistant to move boxes of documents to hide them from the FBI? Lieu later asked. No, Hur said. Lieu took his questioning a step further, asking Hur whether Biden had been investigated for allegations related to Trump's other three indictments in connection with attempts to overturn the 2020 election and the reimbursement of hush money payments. 2024 campaign overtones on both sides of the Hur hearing. Tuesday's oversight hearing gave lawmakers in both parties a high-profile opportunity to score political points against both Biden and Trump, the presumptive nominees in the 2024 presidential election. Throughout the hearing, Democrats and Republicans frequently peppered Hur with questions about either Trump or Biden, not intended to elicit a response, but to criticize the other party's presumptive nominee. From asking whether Biden was senile to asking whether Biden, like Trump, had been charged with trying to overturn the 2020 election or making hush money payments. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan's opening statement included a full airing of a 7-minute press conference after Hur's report was released, where Biden faced questions about his memory and mixed up the leaders of Egypt and Mexico. Representative Jerry Nadler, the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, followed Jordan by playing his own video, a montage cut by his aides of Trump showing the former president misremembering key facts, including a clip of Trump from last year in which he incorrectly said Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, was the Prime Minister of Turkey. That is a man who is incapable of avoiding criminal liability. A man who is wholly unfit for office and a man who, at the very least, ought to think twice before accusing others of cognitive decline, Nadler said after the video wrapped. Trump's memory, of course, had nothing to do with Tuesday's hearing. Except it had everything to do with the hearing. Because the hearing was as much about the 2024 campaign and the coming clash between Biden and Trump as it was about taking testimony from a special counsel who declined to charge Biden for his mishandling of classified information.